Okay, here we. Hi, I am so excited to have today Nico and Dima from Social Adjustment. Tell me a little bit about your business and what you guys do, both B2C and B2B.
So, um, so we run ads, digital ads on Facebook, Google, Instagram, TikTok. And so we do this for both B2C, so where we're doing it for our primarily chiropractic and other medical offices to get them more patients in the door, for all kinds of different treatment types. Shockwave and Softwave is one of our primary ways that we're primary treatments that we're advertising for our docs. And we're also running ads for device companies to help them get more doctors that can generate sales for them.
And our main job today is for you to share this amazing technology with other doctors and what we're doing with over 2,400 clinics across North America. So without further ado, I'm gonna share. Tell me if you guys can see that presentation.
Yeah, I can see
Yes, we
it.
can. Yep.
Excellent. All right. So, I love the fact that, can you see that? Nothing is more powerful. That's doing okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. And I really feel that the Orthogold, which is the series of Softwave, is one of the most versatile devices that we've seen in our lifetime. Does it really work? Yes, it does. We have class one clearance for activation of connective tissue, improving circulation, as well as decreasing pain, and class two clearance for treatment of diabetic foot ulcers, burns, wounds, and post-surgical scars. And wounds are now reimbursed by Medicare. And, we'll talk a little bit about the Gold today as well. I think it's our newest model and it comes in at such a great level. We have a wide range of different devices, and this one is perfect for the new doctor who's just started. So, does it work? Yes, it really works. We're seeing up to 65 to 91% patient satisfaction. You know, Softwave's been around for over 204 two, sorry, Softwave's been around for over 20 years. We have over 240 peer-reviewed studies from 98 different universities globally. We spent over $20 million in research and development, and I'm really excited to share some of these studies today. You might say, why haven't you heard about us? Right? But we're already at Harvard, Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, Baylor University. This is a new twist on an old technology. And this is genuine lithotripsy. So it's the same technology they've used for over 40 years to break up kidney stones, biliary stones, and salivary stones with an 85% success rate. This is a third or fourth generation lithotripsy that is utilizing supersonic sound waves to penetrate the depth of a soup can into the body. And as you know, we've got a lot of different pro teams that are using that. Can you see that slide?
Yep. Perfect.
Okay, good. So, this is one of the things I love is a lot of doctors are always like, how much is it? And again, we have a different range, right? We have like the Camry, Corollas, all the way up to the Lexus model. But really, what you should be asking is how many more people you're going to help with this technology in your community. And I like to focus on the ROII. That's the return on impact in your community first, as well as then the return on investment. And some people get that mixed up. My question tonight is, what's in your clinic? This is Frankie Smith, who after 20 years after a stroke wasn't able to use his left hand, and you're going to see what happens. Mr. Smith, why you got your hand like that? What's going on? Tell me.
Well, I just had a similar
You had the shockwave treatment, yeah. And what about and the lights? What did you think?
I thought it was very good.
How come? Tell me what's different about your hand.
So I can move it, open it up all the way like.
How long has it been since you've been able to do that?
20 years.
20 years. Ms. Smith, is this true?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the stuff that we like to see. Um, and you know, I've been a chiropractor for 30 years. I helped bring this to our profession 8 years ago. And honestly, you know, I have a little ADHD. I'm a little dyslexic. Going through chiropractic college was one of the hardest things I ever did. But I used to daydream about working with professional athletes. And now, because of Softwave, I'm literally a consultant for NFL teams, NBA teams, and even PGA professional players. So the nice thing is Dr. James Bradley, he was one of the first to put this in the NFL with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He called it his secret weapon for getting his players back on the field faster than dry needling, cold lasers, ultrasound. That's Jim Maurer. He's been the uh, head trainer for the Dallas Cowboys for over 37 years now. The 2021 World Series champions love this technology. They have two for the Atlanta Braves. And then there's Olympic athlete Graham McDowell, who also is a US Open champion. So it not only has it been great for my clinic, but also boosting the Wi-Fi and where patients are coming from. And you guys have helped so much with that. But this is just some of my TikToks. Like you can see, this is John Boone, doctor and director of regenerative services for the Miami Dolphins. And this is some players from the Braves who wanted to thank us after they won it all, right? So this is just showing some of my views on just my TikTok that's been only for a couple years, but we have 2.6
That's
million.
as far as this one goes. This is before
And
okay, open it
it's
up.
just fun.
Close it again.
It's made practice, got me 100% re-engaged in taking care of patients. This I love. This is Dr. Martin O'Malley. He was really the first orthopedic to bring this to the United States in 2014. And I love what he says. He's like, he's got three of these. He goes, I'm not here to debate who's got the best shockwave device. All I can tell you is I have three. And he's a foot and ankle specialist for the NFL and the NBA. And when Kevin Durant got injured, he actually flew from uh, Golden State all the way to New York City so that Dr. O'Malley could work on him and have one of our soft waves right in the OR that he treated because it helps reduce scar tissue and keloid formation. This I like because this sets us apart from any other shockwave device on the planet. And this is the father of shockwave therapy. You're going to hear the Austrian accent of Dr. Wolfgang Schaden, and he tells it right here.
This is how the shockwave would develop. And when you put this source into an ellipsoid, you see how the shockwave is reflected and then concentrated.
No other shockwaves have a primary and a secondary wave.
This is what I wanted to say now.
Damn it.
And what you see is.
But nobody ever measures the primary wave. All this minus 6B is never on there. Nobody's ever.
That's Wolfgang.
I think it's.
That's our CEO and founder, John Worley.
He said they.
Nothing else like that. So I want to understand what true electrohydraulic, and this is a full water system. We have a water cartridge in the back, and we have our own automatic degassing that takes out any type of air bubbles. Nobody else has this on the market. And this is German, designed, engineered, and assembled. Here you go. So that's the water. The spark plug inside, which the Germans call the spark of life. And you'll see how these sound waves can penetrate the depth of a soup can. And that whole blue zone is a healing zone. See that? So everything in that blue area is a healing zone. And a lot of the magic, or what I call supernatural healing, comes in that red and yellow zone. Okay? So this is some of the early studies that we found. And on the left, you can see the mitochondrial in a green. That's in a anaerobic type of function of the mitochondrial, so it's not producing the proper amount of energy. It's using ADP, adenine diphosphate, if that's what it's producing. And then what you see on the right is 10 minutes after the cells have been soft wave and the mitochondrial now lit up and they're now in an aerobic state and able to utilize oxygen and really key with the energy of ATP production, adenine triphosphate. The middle picture is a patient that used to fly down from Philadelphia every month and would work with us for 3 days. This is her first treatment. Can you see the blueness on that before and then after?
Yeah, I can see it.
That's a 3 minute treatment.
Drastic difference. That's only 3 minutes apart.
It's only 3 minutes apart, and I actually have the video on my YouTube page. And then this is a little skeleton. This is the conditions that may benefit from Softwave, but you can see accelerating healing. So there's an antimicrobial and antibacterial effect. So it's wonderful with wounds as well as burns. We see improved exosome or stem cell circulation. Those are the repairmen of the body. And, you know, even the heart, Dr. Johannes Hofeld just published in European Heart Journal, which is one of the top 10 research papers in the world, has just shown 63 bypass patients that he worked on. And 1 year later, they showed a 12% improvement in left ventricular ejection fraction. Why is that important, gentlemen? Why do you think?
Better recovery.
But also, this shows for the first time in the history of mankind, a true regenerative therapeutic option for heart. And heart disease still kills more men and women than any other condition worldwide. And this gives an opportunity for people to not have to waste away after heart injuries or damages. There is no damage to the tissue when we use this. This is called mechanotransduction. So what you're seeing is there is like this clasp of thunder where you have this high pressure followed by low pressure. And the high pressure, if you look at the cells on the right there, that's in a normal resting period. When you go to the high pressure, they are compressed by 2%. And then when it goes with that negative tensile force, it expands by 10%. So there's a delta change of 12. And that constant compression and expansion helps create an innate response within our body. And it tricks the body into thinking there's a new injury without damaging tissue at all. And it sends out all these first responders of healing, like the exosomes, like toll-like receptor 3, like interleukin. And these are all essential in helping modulate or decreasing inflammation, improving circulation, as well as kind of rebooting that whole healing system. So these are the things, the positive biological effects that we're seeing in multiple papers. And the good thing is we're just at the starting this process, right? We've only tapped into 2% of the profession, healthcare providers. And, you know, these are still the early innovators. These are the tech enthusiasts who've bought in. But I believe now, after having over 2,000 of them, we have social proof. We have doctors that are doing 15, 20, 25, 30, 32, 35,000 per month. And I think you're going to start seeing the early adopters start coming on soon. And once you get the innovators and early adopters, that 16% of the healthcare providers, that's where you jump the gap and the floodgates open. And we're going to have to be open like 7-Elevens. So this is the treatments that we cover. This works with anything with ending with itis. So it could be bursitis, neuritis, epicondylitis, plantar fasciitis, arthritis, which is about 2/3 of the doctor listening to this, their current population. It helps with non-healing bone fractures, wounds. And again, sometimes it sounds too good to be true, but this is real. This is what our map looked like just 2 years ago. It took us 5 years to get 1,000 clinics. We did the next 1,000 clinics in the next 2.5 years. So we doubled in half the amount of time. And why not try to be part of this elite squad of healthcare providers across the country? Guys, what are you seeing with some of your clients? What are you noticing?
Them getting amazing results for a ton of their patients. I think one of the biggest benefits of adding software therapy though is the fact that you're just adding the amount of treatments and the amount of conditions that you can treat and not refer out as well too, to the practice, and that makes it easier for us to market when we can split test so many different, like you said, all those things ending in itis and all different types of pain. And not to mention also just really quickly, it's such new technology that, like you said earlier, now why haven't you heard of us? So it's easier to get people excited on it. And people that have been living with pain do easily get excited on it. It's our best performing campaign for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a new technology, and it provides another option for people outside of just, there's like the drug and surgery route, which no one really wants to do that. And then there's there's the chiropractic route, which a lot of people have tried that and maybe they didn't get the best results. Or they tried some other kind of non-invasive drug-free types of treatments and those didn't really work that well. So this just provides the best treatment there is in that sense of the non-invasive drug-free that actually works. So, and we see that in the ads. We see how people react just in communities all across the US and Canada, where we see how excited people are and they sign up, and that's why it's one of our best performing campaigns, because people actually see it and it works and it gets the results that they're looking for. So that's something we like when a doctor is doing a Softwave, because it makes our job easier on the marketing side.
Yeah, and this is very consumer driven. Like patients, we have patients visit our Softwave clinics and find a Softwave provider. Over 50,000 patients per month are searching for a provider. So it's consumer driven.
You muted
I think you
yourself
might
by
be
accident.
muted.
Yeah, by accident.
Okay, wow. Let me see if I can go back there. I said there's over 50,000 patient visitors to our softwaveclinics.com per month. So it's very consumer driven. And I think that's important. After the last 7.5, 8 years, I've spoke to over 6,000 doctors, and I've heard they've confided in me and telling me what keeps them up at night. And number one is, will their body be physically able to handle the demands of this rigorous profession? Um, will they have enough money to retire, send their kids to college, to pay for their daughter? I've got 3 daughters, so in my mind, it was always 3 daughters' weddings, right? And we've created solutions for them, right? So a typical chiropractic office might make $45 to $50 on an adjustment, where our Softwave doctors are either doubling or tripling that in the same amount of time. So it's increasing revenue. It's a beautiful return on investment. You refer out less, you help more people. The more satisfied the patient is, the more they refer. And there's no amount of money that they can pay you when you help them with a problem that has been there for weeks, months, and even years. This is definitely recession proof, as well as pandemic proof, because we built our clinic to over $1 million during COVID with this. So developing proven formulas, right? That's why we're elevating. We haven't seen this type of level of success in chiropractic offices in 125 years. And this really helps boost that Wi-Fi of where patients are coming from. And unfortunately, only 12% of the population will visit a chiropractor. But what we found is our Softwave providers, they're getting over 100% of the people living in pain, recovering from sports injuries that want to find this. So this is just a little smash up. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear this. Oh, I guess we couldn't. I'll save it to the end. This is just a handful of my doctor success stories. Um, this is Dr. Kyle Bowers, right up here. He did over 357,000 in his first year. Dr. Corey did over 90,000 in his first 3 months. Dr. Jeff collected 38,000 in his first 6 months, and we just had him on a webinar, and he's done over 400,000 in 2.5 years. So over 20,000 a year in a little town of 6,000 people. Dr. Scott up here has done over $55,000 a month with 2 devices over the last 3 years. He's done over close to $2 million. Dr. Sue Airy generated 38,000 per month, and did over 450,000 in a town of 30,000 people in the last 2.5 years. Dr. Todd had one of the best first 7 weeks at 64,000, and Dr. George Gertner did over 35,000 in pre-sales. This shows Dr. Bowers month by month gross. Can you see that?
Yep.
And we predict he'll do $1.7 million in the first 5 years. Dr. Mike did 25,000 in just the first day. And I love the way we help you do a soft launch for your Softwave. Our training day is where we send in one of our national certified trainers, and you put together 10 to 12 of the worst patients, right? These are people who have been so loyal to you over the last few years, who come in on a regular basis, but still have underlying conditions that conservative care and modern medicine hasn't been able to solve. And those are the people we want. And I get these every day. 25,000 collected. Dr. Stacy and Nate did over 122,000 the first 70 days. So that was a new record. So understanding this is really a capital investment. And the Orthogold 500, which is really our best-selling device, comes with 4 applicators, 2 new and 2 refurbishments. And each applicator will have about 1,000 treatments before you have to send it in for being recharged. And those 1,000 treatments for each probe, if you're just charging $125, you're going to make about 125,000 per applicator times the 4 applicators before you ever pay for a refurbishment. It should make you over $500,000. And that could be in the first 2 years. But it comes out to a 6-to-1 return on investment. Any questions there, gentlemen?
I think I don't have any questions there. I think it's great to show exactly the type of return on investment and how many treatments you can do with each applicator.
And this is our top selling device. So, don't wait any longer. We want doctors to be able to seize this opportunity. And right now we have an incredible offer. It comes with over $28,000 worth of savings, plus Social Adjustment is giving the first month of digital advertising for free. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes, that's correct.
And it'll include the appointment setting, ads management, all that.
That's amazing. I love giving free stuff away from you guys.
Yeah.
We're looking for practitioners and health seekers and entrepreneurs who want to make a difference, who want to make an eternal impact in their communities because they're bringing this world-class technology to their practice. And it's a new patient magnet. It really is. So, getting easy is pretty started. Getting started is pretty easy, right? It's 1, 2, 3. We have a wonderful opportunity. We can send them an application. I'm about to go over a special that's really I've never seen in 8 years. Once approved, we can deliver within 10 to 14 days, and we start your virtual training the day you order. And really, it's very user friendly and only takes less than 45 minutes to complete your first basic certification. And then finally, within 7 to 10 days of receiving the device, we have one of our national certified trainers there to help you launch it and work on those most difficult patients in your practice. And right now, this is beautiful because this is the first time I've ever seen this. This is zero down, 0% interest for qualified buyers. This will save in over $18,000 in interest payments. Every single amount of your payments is going right to principal, and it's a really beautiful setting. Um, Plus, we have a tax code 179 that savings can be up to $27,000 in your first year. So these are really great opportunities for any of our doctors to utilize this.
I want to add on, zero down, 0% interest is basically free money in a way, just because that's a huge discount off. Not to mention, like, most financing companies right now, I mean, interest rates are high. You'd be lucky to get 8%. It's really going to be closer to 10%. That's with good credit. And with inflation, I mean, that money's it's going straight to your principal. So you're basically getting a free loan in a way. So I mean, I just think that's a huge value add. Um, you know, Makes it very easy for you to take on the device and bring the patients in, lower the payments to the bare minimum because of that, and makes it mitigates the risk a lot. I think it's a huge offer.
Yeah, and we just launched it halfway through this past month, and we had a record month. And it's not going to be around forever. This is going to be probably for the rest of this month, and then it's gone. And we have these pending tariffs, which is making the device more expensive to come in from Germany. And the good thing is we have a stockpile of devices, about 50 devices, and once those are gone, you're going to see an increase in price. So if you've been thinking about this, if you've been considering it, if you want to grow your practice, this is one of the best ways to do it, and really in a way that I think kind of seamlessly is able to implement in your already busy clinic. I think that hits it all. Dima, anything else you'd like to
Yeah,
add?
I do have a question for you. So we get doctors all the time that are, they're trying to expand their clinic, they're trying to get into new markets, and obviously Softwave is a great tool for that. And they're always wondering what is the best technology for them to get? What's the best shockwave technology to get? So in this in this universe of shockwave devices, I'm getting hit by a ton of ads. These docs are getting hit by a ton of ads. What would you say is really the reason why me as a doctor would go with Softwave over anyone else?
Well, number one, I mean, credibility. We have over 240 papers over the last 21 years. We spent over 25 million in research and development. We're in some of the top established hospitals and trauma centers around the world. And I mean, I think you don't want to go with a one-hit wonder. This is emerging shockwave sector is $1 billion industry, and there's a lot of predatory behavior. And before you let one of these shockwave salesmen into your clinic, either digitally or personally, you really have to vet them out. And vetting them out doesn't mean going on to Google and search, because those are paid ads, right? You guys can speak to that. You don't know who
Hmm.
is on the other end of that. So I think it's like start with Softwave, kind of do your due diligence on the others. I think what it comes out to, dollar for dollar, we may be the most cost-effective treatment. We should talk about Data Biologics as well, because that is a third-party group that is collecting data from hundreds of clinics around the country that use either focus shockwave, broad focus like ours, or radial devices, as well as exosome, PRP, and stem cells. And when you look at these are all invasive and outside the body. But we are getting patients better faster, less amount of visits, less amount of pulses. And that's really what it's about, right? Time is the new currency, and patients, they want the top treatment that's offered, to 35, 36 professional sporting teams. And I think that's the best way to make a real impact in your community.
I think it's a great thing. And I also want to add something. I think I can add something to that. When I spoke to John Warlick, the CEO of Softwave, there is a big risk with working or potentially buying other devices that aren't cleared as much as Softwave is. They've obviously spent millions of dollars on research and have the most clearance. And there's possibility of, people that are, there's a lot of predatory advertising, and they may not be what you think it is. And you could spend tens of thousands of dollars on a device and they get shut down by the FDA, and there will be no servicing that device in the future. That's a possibility.
Yeah, and I mean, there's there's companies out there that are bringing devices in from Turkey and China that lack certain safety features, and they're only registered in the United States right now. That's the basic level. We have both class 1 and class 2 clearances, plus we're sold all around the world. And I think safety is our number one concern. And a couple of these cheaper devices may have safety issues that they're not allowed to be sold in the European Union or in the United States. So be careful. And I look forward to jumping on a call and sharing more of information and really going through the algorithm of looking at how big your city is, what's the population, how long has your practice been there, and then showing you the algorithm we've created to really give you an idea what you're going to make per month. But on average, if you have 50 to 75,000 people to draw from, our goal should be $27,000 per month. Extrapolated over a year, that's $324,000 more per year. So these are the things that we're looking for. And we're the tortoises in this race, right? We are here for the long haul. And how do you turn a $300,000 idea into a $3 million idea? You do it for 10 years, right? Consistency is key in this field. I want to thank you both for taking time out of today to really sit in and kind of dig a little deeper into the whole shockwave sector. And I think our next one will be the provider's guide to shockwave therapy, because there's so many doctors that have questions. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.